No, it's usually not.
Inside though,
We just waiting for the assessment.
usually. I hope it ain't Saturday.
They want to make it Saturday.
We're very excited to be a part of this tradition that we started with the Tigers. Being colleges that are only 60 miles apart, it just makes very good sense for us to play one another. Most of these players, they know one another, and just the distance. We have two very good teams that are competing against one another, and just to have this rivalry started, it's 4 years. Just a great thing, I think, for West Alabama, period, and for football. And so we're looking forward to the second year, traveling down to West Alabama, and looking forward to a great game.
Good. We are as well. We think it's a great rivalry. It's a national rivalry. The distances are so close, it makes a lot of sense. And, of course, we do play each other and a lot of other sports and enjoy that rivalry as well. It helps with the budget as well as with competition to have a Division II opponent so close. But having the Tiger Bowl in Livingston is the second year of the Tiger Bowl, but the first time in Livingston is going to be a lot of fun. Our fans are looking forward to it. And it's not only good for these two institutions, but it's good for Division II football. To have two institutions so close that have a history in Division II football and two conferences, the Gulf South and the SIAC, that have been so strong in Division II football. It's very important, not to just, as I said, to these institutions, but to Division II overall. As many people know, as you understand, Division II is made up in regions, and the whole playoff system is divided into regions. To have regional play not only helps our schools, but it helps the other schools in the region just evaluate things and determine the rankings and things like that to make it as fair and equitable as we possibly can. And I know these two teams both hope we're in the hunt toward the end of the season, but this game, along with some others, will help the evaluators in our region determine who the best teams are. So we're glad for that, but mostly we're glad to have these two Tigers competing against one another and enjoying this competition, and going back and forth is a real great thing for both our communities and our fans.
I said it's a great opportunity to be able to play in it, be able to go against a team that's right down the street. I think it's good for recruiting purposes. A lot of people, got kids from West Alabama on there, from the Sumter County area, Meridian, and all those places, and they get an opportunity to see, two quality teams go on the field and just compete. And I'll echo what Stan said. As a voting member for the playoff system, you get a chance to now see what they are like head to head. Maybe be able to push some more people in the super regional from our region into the playoffs and give them a chance to have an opportunity to compete. But most of the time you don't play those teams, so you don't know what their strength of schedule is, what they do. So now it gives you a voice to be able to push that on over the edge now.
Coach,
To echo all three of them, but it is a great game to open the season with. And Stan mentioned the travel budget that it greatly helps out on. Anytime you can play a region game against a quality opponent, and it's only an hour down the road, it's very beneficial to both universities. And you saw with our crowd last year at Stillman was a great crowd, and the weather tried to deter it early and hold people back, but it was a good atmosphere, and we're looking for that same atmosphere hopefully in Livingston this Saturday with a good crowd. I know they'll travel well, and our community's excited about the game, excited about getting football underway as a whole, and our guys are excited because, like has already been mentioned, a lot of our guys know a lot of their guys, and they're from the same hometown. Some of them played together in high school, and so anytime they get to know their opponent and know them personally, there's a lot of fun that goes with that for the players, and we're excited about this rivalry.
I don't think it's really, it's becoming a rivalry. I think as coaches and players, I think that's all for the fans and everybody else. Right now, it's just a ball game for us. We're treating it just like it's a ball game. I don't think it's gotten its stature the way you want to call it, like a major, huge rivalry that we're talking trash amongst each other. The fans are all excited, but it has the potential to get that way. I think after we get a couple games under our belt, maybe we get a winner here, and maybe if the series was even. I think right now it's just a ball game, but it's a game that could mean a lot, and I think it's going to grow into something that could be big between the two schools.
What does the future hold for the rivalry? Do we hope to continue it after the current contract?
That's above
That's above my say, Greg.
I've got that contract here, by the way. No, we would love for that to continue. Obviously, I can't speak for Stillman, but the University of West Alabama would love to have this game as the opening game every year. You know, moving it back and forth from Tuscaloosa to Livingston would be great. So we hope that can continue. We've got 2 more years after this year left on the current agreement. So hopefully that will continue after this particular agreement's done.
I agree. I just think with the distance, with the rivalry that you can develop, it just makes sense to have this game every year. And like I said, we do have 2 years remaining on that. And of course, I have my contract as well.
Any other questions?
Brett, where have y'all been keeping that trophy?
It's been in just outside my office in our field house.
Is that something you think means something to the players to see that?
Anytime you get something for a win and you get to hold on to it, then yes, I would say that. And it's in a place that they see it. So, yeah, I would say it means a little bit to them.
Teddy, have you got a place picked out for it this year?
I do, and it's a nice spot, and I'm hoping that I can get it back. You know, the worst feeling it is when you get the trophy and you watch the other team walk off your field with the trophy. And I don't care how you know, most people say it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Because when you're walking off the field, you're disappointed because you lost, and then the school down the street got the trophy. And you got to, you know, if I go down there and visit, they're going to come out with the trophy. Now I'm looking at it right now. And I'm just hoping I can, you know, at least get my name engraved on it and say I won.
Coach, judging from what you're saying, I think I know the answer to my question, but you used last year's result as motivational for this year for your team?
I don't really talk about last year. Last year is last year. Every year has a life and history of its own. You really don't know. The team has a new identity. There's a lot of players that have to be replaced. There's a lot of things that move and circulate. This team got to figure out what identity it's gonna have. So we don't talk about last year. We talk about the things that we can do to get better as a program, as a team. I think a lot of the things we did, like I said, the first half is where we lost the ball game at. You know, they always say in a ball game there's 5 significant plays that happen that can determine whether you win or lose the game. You can't predict those 5 plays, but when you're giving up big plays for 40 and 50 yards, you're not covering the seams, you're just not doing what you're supposed to do, that causes you to get behind. And then when a team gets behind, sometimes that's where we talk about this adversity thing. It's harder for some teams to come from behind. In their mindset, they think, well, I'm going to lose, so you got to spend more time trying to build that confidence. So right now, we've been focusing on us, what to do, how to do it, and why it's important for them to do it that way. So if we concentrate on us, then the rest of it will take care of itself.
Coach, you mentioned last year it was your first game as a head coach. That had to be unbelievable to try and accomplish something on that day with everything that was going on. How different is it for you this year, getting ready for that first game of your second season?
Well, I've learned a great deal, I feel, but still got a whole lot to learn. But I feel more comfortable with our staff because we didn't have a whole lot of turnover in our staff. And then obviously we've got some new players on our roster, just like Coach talked about, the turnover of players happens, but we're more comfortable with our staff. I know exactly what each of our staff, how they work and how they do it, and the players that we have, we're more comfortable with the returning players, knowing them and their strengths. So as a comfort level, just knowing how everything's going to work, and there's not as many unknowns to me in that aspect. But anytime you get to start your head coaching career with about a 2.5-hour lightning delay, it's always fun. They want to have a good showing. We've got to show everybody what.